Hi, I'm just going to talk about calcaneus fractures. I had one in my left foot a couple of months ago, and I know if you're like myself, you're interested to hear all about it and see what it's like. Um, Mine happened during a high impact, I suppose, high speed event. My foot hit the ground quite hard, and my heel also rolled, or my whole foot rolled inwards um, to the centre of my body. I knew it was bad straight away. It felt like something exploded in my foot, so I knew it was bad. That was on the 15th of November. So I went straight to hospital and got it checked out, found out what the problem was. About a week later, I had the surgery to screw and plate my heel back together, the calcaneus, and I was not expecting it to be as painful as it was. It was incredibly painful after the surgery, but you've just got to grin and bear it, and they give you as many drugs as they can, and so on. Um, and Then for about 11 weeks, I noticed a improvement in it. Obviously, it got much better. Stopped painkillers after a couple of weeks, um, and swelling went down a lot. Um, I had a checkup with the surgeon 11 weeks after he did the work, and beforehand I had an X-ray to make sure the bone was knitting together correctly and properly, and everything was in order. I'll throw a picture up of it here. Um, Pretty much straight away after the checkup with the surgeon, he said I could start putting weight on it, which was really exciting. I thought a heel injury would be, once the bone's good, you're good to go. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I went to physio just a couple of days later, and I've been working with him for the last 4 weeks. 4 weeks, and it's been a lot slower than I thought. Initially, when starting to put weight on my foot, I was only just able to sort of touch my feet on the ground using both crutches. It's amazing how sensitive the bottom of your foot gets when you don't put any weight on it. And so that took about a week to just get used to sort of just touching the ground with my foot. It is a known issue, known phenomenon that occurs. So you just got to deal with that. Over the next few weeks, I've been putting more and more weight on my foot. Start with around 20 kilos worth of weight on it, and believe me, just doing that, it's quite disturbing with your mind. Trying, the last 11 weeks or so, I've been trying to do as little touching of my foot on anything as I can. I just wanted to make sure that it heals up 100%. And I've been trying to avoid bumping it on things and touching things, and it takes a bit of mind work to change your mindset that you can start putting weight on your foot now. You can start using it. I was so afraid originally that I'd just shatter it again. Just putting weight on it, but the healing had gone really well in the bones, so it wasn't going to happen as long as I looked after it. I didn't go out doing anything crazy. So that took a bit of a while to get used to. During that 11-week period, you've just got to keep moving your foot, keep moving your ankle. You want to try and regain the flexibility in those joints. So I found slow progress. It took a while. I was able to move my foot and toes up and back, but I couldn't twist it sideways or wiggle it around. But you've just got to persevere, just get it moving. Try and spell letters, try and go through the alphabet, capitals, and then lowercase. One of the biggest issues when you don't use your foot or any joint, for that matter, is that it just it seizes up. All the muscles and everything wither away. My legs absolutely gone to nothing, and it takes time to build it back. I've been lucky enough to do some cycling, light cycling and swimming, which is really helping. But I also learned you can't push it too hard. I did a big ride the other day and found today that it's quite sore. So I've just got to keep working on my exercises. I've seen the physio again this morning actually, and explained what's happened, and he assured me, look, you've just got to understand, you've got to give it time. And it's frustrating, you know. I've been off work for several months. Um, you can't rush it, unfortunately. Sometimes it was feeling really good, and I've sort of put more load through it, um, and then the next day it can feel sore again. So you've just got to feel your body, see how it goes, follow the advice of your physio and your doctors. Um, it's now the 7th of March, so it's been a while. Um, I'm down to one crutch now. I've done a few steps unassisted, so I'm really glad that I am making progress. It's just not as fast as I was hoping. You know, as I said earlier, I thought as soon as I could put weight on it, I'd be off walking and doing things. Obviously, I wouldn't go jumping around, but yeah, I never thought it would be as slow progress as this. So you've just got to keep at it, keep moving those joints. We're currently working on strength in my leg and mobility in my hip with physio at the moment. It's come to our attention now that I'm starting to put weight on my foot, particularly almost full body weight, how weak my leg is. Obviously, I can see how much muscle's wasted away, but you don't really realise how weak it becomes, and that also affects the way you put load on your foot. And it's strange. Usually, using the one crutch, I'm putting weight awkwardly, and it kind of makes it more exaggerated, a more exaggerated poor movement. Um, but then if I just look ahead, just try and keep myself up, keep my posture good, and try and walk normally, I'm putting less weight on the crutch, but it actually feels better in my leg and my foot. Um, of, so it's quite an interesting scenario. So I just wanted to get that out there. Please leave any comments below, questions. Happy to get back to you. It's very slow, unfortunately. It seems to be all the information out there points to that, and I can definitely say that that's the case. It gets frustrating being stuck at home. I like doing lots of outdoor activities, but I've just got to deal with it and try not to make it any worse by pushing too hard. So that's all I've got to say. I wish you all the best. If you've got any calcaneus fractures, injuries, take it easy and follow the advice of your professionals. Cheers.